I wanted to talk a little bit today about sacrifice because for some reason, nobody wants to sacrifice anything. And obviously, yes, like I said, I'm a Christian, so from the Christian worldview, obviously you're not gonna like sacrifice a child or anything like that. But like nobody's willing to put in any demand, and not even for the sense of like work. Like sure, work is draining and it's in a sense sacrificial to your health, but not actually like willing to be like, you know what, I'm gonna put my life on the line for somebody, or I am willing to stand on my morals. It seems like everybody wants to cave for everything, and I don't know. I'm probably talking to a percentage of the population that actually cares, number one. So you guys are going to be like, well, clearly it's not me. Well, yeah. Sadly, okay, whoa. I'm glad I'm talking to you, but sadly, I'm talking to the wrong crowd. So it's a little annoying that the people who need to hear these things can't, right? Like, I know I see it with people who don't really care about deeper matters, or they don't really care about things that have actual value, right? So yeah, kind of getting back to like the sacrifice thing, like nobody wants to sacrifice themselves for others, which should be an honorable thing, right? I mean, it should. Like you should, or I should, or whoever should want to do the best we can for the people around us. And yes, I understand even sometimes you can, overstep your boundaries and then you're in a world of hurt, right? Like, trust me, I think I'm probably going to release the video, I don't know, a couple days from now. This will still be a couple days even from that. I kind of do them like weeks in advance. But, I talked a little bit about that in that other video, how like I'm always so easy to give my heart away. And I don't know if that's like a, neurodivergent thing or what that is, but I'm so willing to just be like, oh, you know what, you're nice to me, here's everything more, or here's everything back and more, right? Where like I want to try and do more than what is given to me or what is gifted to me, and I try to pass it forward. And 9 times out of 10 that bites me in the ass, because for some reason people take it as like a your kindness is weakness thing. But how naive of them, how stupid of them to think that your kindness should be trampled, right? Because like it's one of those things where you don't know how hard somebody can bite until they bite you, right? And I'm not trying to say that like I'm just like gonna go out and rack a slide. Like, no, it's like you don't know when somebody will just be like, fuck it, you're not worth my time. I've given you everything. I've tried to help you, yada, yada, yada. And it's just annoying that it's like you still have to sacrifice, because clearly that is the best option, right? Like if you don't sacrifice, or you don't even make the attempt to sacrifice, whether that's, sometimes your time or your mental state. Like right now, like low-key, I don't feel like making a video, but it just has to be said, right? You can probably hear it in my stuttering. But at the same time, like if we don't make these incremental or large-scale sacrifices, then we're worse off, right? If everybody's just like, I'm just going to push it off into tomorrow, or like I'm not going to make the leap of faith, or I'm not going to do unto others as I have done unto me, the system just falls apart rapidly too. I mean, you can see that now, because nobody in our society is willing to sacrifice. Everything's just going to shit. And I'm not even once again talking about work, right? Like the idea of doing things for free, right? Like volunteer work or community gathering, whatever sessions. Like, this is sometimes why I understand the thing of tithing, where it's like, yes, obviously the church needs the money to stay open, but sometimes I get a little bit like, teaching the gospel and or doing things for God should be free because it was free to us, right? So it only makes sense that that's just the way we should roll. But it's sad to see that a lot of other churches don't feel that way. But yeah, nobody's trying to do anything for free. Realistically, my channel Not gonna get monetized. I say the F-bomb too much. I've said a lot of other F words that are curses and or slurs. So like, it's just a fucking nuke. But my point isn't to get money. My point is to show human characteristics or human kindness or like things of the spirit and the soul, not just what you see. Because I had talked a little bit about that before about, the, what the hell is that called? Those guys who do weightlifting, I guess like weightlifters or like bodybuilders, they're really into their physical but not their mental, because sure, you can lift a 50-pound whatever or a 100-pound whatever, but like, are you full on the inside? Because if you're not full on the inside and you're hollow, you're going to be in the exact same position as a drug addict who is not full. Or, what's funny is that when the drug addicts believe in something bigger than themselves, you're actually lower on the pole here, like mentally or well-being wise, than somebody who's a drug addict on the street who's homeless. So, like, we need to sort of kind of get our priorities straight. And once again, that demands sacrifice. It does. We can't be better people if we don't sacrifice. Which, I might even derail into that, where the demand for sacrifice has a sort of well-being to it, where like, if we're gonna be better people, we need to do these things, right? Like, there's no growth if you're just stagnant. And I get it, sometimes you need rest. Everybody needs rest, rest and comfort. But we can't always be so, I'm trying to think of the word, complacent. Actually, I don't know if I like that word. So closed off. That might be better. Because it hurts us in the long run, right? If you're not willing to take the time. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what else we can kind of shoehorn in here. Oh, yeah, I'll say it. The whole thing with like the looks maxing and or, like the stoic whatever, like, not, because I sort of talked about this before, where like people aren't willing to do the psychological cleansing to get to that state, rather than just like, like I look at like Clavicular, right, where he's basically beating up the physical to harm the spiritual. And at what point does that really benefit you? Because if you're not in the right mind, you're just fucked, bro. Like, I look at like Samson, right? Where like Samson was like, fuck it, we ball, and took down the whole building with him. But at that last kind of moment, he was like in a tough mindset. So like, normally he was a strong guy, but that was, being in that mindset was enough to send him even higher. So just practicing and working on this, on the physical, does not improve the overall, like you see, okay, here's a good one. A mom that picks up a car for her child, right? Like, that comes from in here, not in here. And, it's true that yes, like they have muscles and shit, but like the whole thing of them being able to pick up a car, it's literally mind over matter. So, I feel really bad for people like Clavicular, because he actually seems pretty chill. Like, even though he's funny, or like, I don't know if you've ever seen the videos where he like looks at the camera when he's talking. It's like a fourth wall break. And even, I guess he did like a dating thing a few days or like maybe a week ago. And, he's kind of like asking interesting questions to the guests or whoever, the dates. And you can just tell he's got like a, like, okay, this person actually might care more about things than just money. But yet at the end of the day, if you are not doing the same, right? Like too obsessed about the body, because the flesh will die, but the spirit will live. So long as you, believe in the eternal creator, right? But, specifically Jesus Christ, putting your faith in him. But, like the body's just going to die. I mean, I look at people like my mom and my dad, and my mom was good looking when she was younger. My dad was good looking when he was younger. And I look at them now, and it's very hard to tell that they were good looking. I know that sounds fucked up, but like, that's just true. Your body's going to fail you, but as long as you can keep your mind alive, you might be fine in the end. So, yeah, that's about it. Hopefully that's some words of wisdom for your day.